Greetings and salutations, brothers and sisters, fellow wrestling fans all across the globe. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, all of that good stuff. Brother Akiharu here to give you another glorious, splendiferous WWE review. And that's going to be for Monday Night Raw. And of course, I got my notebook, my handy dandy notebook. So let's jump right on into it. Alright, so Raw opened up with The Miz. Beautifully, you know, The Miz opened it up here. You know, he's doing his thing once again. I like The Miz. I love The Miz. He stepped it on up like I never would have thought a man from the real world would go on into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, Miz is amazing. One of the best microphone talk. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say he's the best microphone talker now. Now that John Cena has done his thing and he's exited on out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and put Miz at #1 up there. You know what I'm saying? So, Roman Reigns is going to be one of his guests. Because, you know, after the pay-per-view and everything, that was supposed to be the... you know what I'm saying? The setup was that, oh, they're bringing back the Shield. But check this out. I, like everybody else who's a wrestling fan, have always wanted the Shield to stay around. We didn't want the Shield to break up. Remember, that was one of the only times when people started to like Roman Reigns was when he was in the Shield. You know what I'm saying? So I would never want the Shield to break up. So I'm happy that the Shield would come back. But the Shield to come back against the Miz Taraj, I mean, think about that. Oh, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? To come back against the Miz Taraj. Like, seriously, what's going on here? Now, I don't have a problem with Curtis Axel. I damn sure don't have a problem with Bo Dallas. And as I was just saying, I don't have a problem with the Miz. But when you want to talk about their booking and whatnot for a team such as the Shield, you know what I'm saying, who went up against Evolution and Wyatts, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much a smattering of who's from Randy Orton and John Cena and Kane, Randy Orton and John Cena and Daniel Bryan, etc., etc., etc. So they've already shown that they are a dominant force. Now, really, what has the Miz Taraj done over the past couple of weeks? It's not like they've been building up Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Goodness gracious, like some freaking dust in here or something. But it's not like they've been building up Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas as this credible duo or this dominant threat, so that we at home could be like, okay, you know what, WWE, I could see the Shield taking on Curtis Axel, you know, Bo Dallas and the Miz, or the Miz Taraj, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, Roman is out there, you know, that man got booed before he came out while he was out there in the ring. I've said it and I've said it before, Roman has got to be the most stalest, boringest character I've ever seen, and gets by just because of his looks, which is nothing wrong with that. You know, the ladies love him, makes him moist in the pants, you know what I'm saying? And just, he's boring. That's it. No, he goes in the ring, like when you put him with like a Braun Strowman, you know what I'm saying? They have good chemistry and they can go when it's like a hardcore match, but don't expect anything technical from him. And I would never expect. So I would never expect anything technical from Roman in the first place. So that's totally fine. So, you know, he's on out there and he's talking to him, you know, pretty much about nonsense. You know, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, okay, so how long before Roman Reigns decides to beat up The Miz? But actually, you know what? The Miz was speaking rather nicely about him. He actually did not say nothing bad. It kind of had me thinking, like, did Backstage Directive tell this man to go out here and gloat about Roman Reigns? But then it was Roman Reigns, you know, who got negative with The Miz. You know what I'm saying? Who threw the first blow at The Miz, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. And that's when The Miz retaliated. And as you can imagine, all hell broke loose from there, you know, with Roman Reigns ultimately talking about, hey, you want to fight me? You want to fight me? And Miz was like, look at me, man. I'm dressed to the T here. And ain't nobody trying to fight you. And The Miz saw where he was going with this. Look, this has got to be one of the fastest times I've ever seen Miz back out of the ring. Miz ducked back quietly, slipped out of that ring and went to go up the ramp. And there was Kurt Angle right there. He stopped him. He was like, you ain't going over there. So Kurt Angle makes it Roman Reigns versus The Miz for later on in tonight, and then he also makes it The Miz Taraj versus Matt and his son Jason Jordan. And as you all know, poor Jeff Hardy is going to be out for an extended time, which means that could be 3 to 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Following shoulder surgery for that injury that he had. You know, and that's sad because we all love the Hardys, you know what I'm saying? Even if they weren't deleted or what did he say, or woken, you know, I still like the Hardys, you know what I'm saying? Especially Brother Nero, you know. But who didn't like Jeff Hardy? Everybody does that, you know what I'm saying? Now we got Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan versus Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. And once again, man, I really do like Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Now, Curtis Axel looks like he popped right out of like 1850s as like the old school pugilist, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? and Bo Dallas looks like some kind of biker dude who got money, you know what I'm saying? He got wealthy, and now he's fighting with the gold jacket on and the glove and shit. Man, I like it. You know, these guys are taking every bit of the opportunity that they're giving to them, and they know, like, look, man, we've got a limited run here, you know, we've been given this ball, you know, and they're doing what they have to do, a la Damian Sandow and the freaking Singh brothers, who I'll talk about that on a SmackDown, but the damn Singh brothers, to me, every week is outshining Jinder Mahal, and that's how I feel about Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Now, of course, they're not outshining on the microphone, but in terms of what they're doing, even though they're just standing around in the background, I'm really digging them. So, kudos to Curtis and Dallas, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, they're taking on Jason Jordan and Matt Hardy, of course, with Jeff Hardy, you know, out there. And then you can see Jeff Hardy goes to throw his arm up in there, and he's like, oh, I'm like, come on, Jeff. Come on, Jeff. You know, this is real energy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to sell that. This is real, bro. You know, take it easy on your arm there. And of course, we know who would win, Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan. And I wonder what they're going to do here, since Matt Hardy's brother is obviously injured. You know what I'm saying? Do we keep Jason Jordan and Matt Hardy together as a team? You know what I mean? This is, like, what could you really say about this? A, we can keep them together. You know what I'm saying? We can let them grow as a team, and we can see what's going on there, because obviously Jeff Hardy is injured, you know what I'm saying? Or B, you know, this could be a one-time thing, and then Jason Jordan could just team with people every week, and then Matt Hardy can just be broken. Of course, we like that one a lot better, but damn it, Matt Hardy ain't breaking no time soon, and we can't figure out why. What the fuck? Sheesh. Ay. But then we had a Brock and Braun recap, and that took up, like, oh goodness gracious, that took up so much time. Like, WWE with the timing. Like, I implore anybody at home, you know, we've all got phones with timers and all of that good stuff on there. Time how long matches are. Like, for example, you know, how much in-ring time you get versus how much talk and promo and commercial stuff you'll get. And if this was like the pay-per-view, which was 3 hours, right? More than half of the show was... just half the show was actually wrestling. So that means out of 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? You know, only an hour and 50 minutes worth of it was the wrestling of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's on a pay-per-view where they don't have to show commercials, you know, but so much time is devoted to it. Recaps and more recaps, and then promos, but the promos are okay if they're good, but it's really the recaps and the dramatic packages, you know what I'm saying? Or when I mean recap, like, for example, people will be in the ring and they'll be like, now let me take 5 minutes to show this video package from last week, you know what I'm saying? Or recaps like this, for example, you know, where you come from a commercial, right? So you go to a commercial, think you're going to get some action or something. This is what happened. You went from the commercial, you go to see the Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman recap, and then you go right back to the commercial. And then we had Elias Sampson in the ring. That was the only saving grace. We came back from the commercial, from the recap, and I was like, yes, Elias Sampson, El Vagabundo is in the ring, yes. And I really, really, really enjoy his songs. And he started running down Apollo Crews, which was freaking awesome, you know. Please definitely do something with Apollo Crews so he doesn't have to be seen as Apollo Snooze. Check this out, you know, and as I've said before, and I'll say it again, get rid of the weight limit on the cruiserweight division and put Apollo Crews down there. If we get Neville, if we want to let Neville get out of there, because he's so much better, and I really feel like Neville should just, he's like on Finn Balor level, you know what I'm saying? He should not be in the cruiserweights, you know? But please, put that freaking Apollo Crews down in the cruiserweight division and let him go down there and shine. Because, I mean, yes, the guy's like 245, 250, something along there, you know? But he flips with the best of them. I mean, Apollo is an athletic dude, you know what I'm saying? But he got his block knocked off by Elias Sampson, you know, and I definitely enjoyed that. But it was awesome because Titus was on the outside. The way he did it with the setup, he just for no reason just decided to kick Titus in the leg, and then he went in there. And then after the match, Titus came in there and they started fighting and whatnot. I'm wondering if this is after, obviously, you know, he beat up Apollo Crews, because we're wondering, well, what do you do with an Elias Sampson? He has to have people to fight, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's only but so many, you know, baby faces or faces that he can fight before he has to actually move on up, you know. So who's next for the guy, right? Titus O'Neil. I'm like, okay, all right, that makes sense. And then perhaps after him, maybe an Akira Tozawa or something. But, you know, after the Titus O'Neil goes on, then what's next for Elias Sampson? You know what I'm saying? He's already done with the Finn Balor. You know, he obviously can't feud with Bray Wyatt or any of the bad guys. So really, who's left for Elias Sampson to actually feud with? You know, He's not gonna get a belt or something unless we get that belt off of the Miz. You know what I'm saying? What's he gonna be doing? He's just gonna be floating, drifting around. There you go. Okay, that's what he's gonna be doing after. He's just gonna be drifting around playing the guitar and entertaining me. You know what I'm saying? Monday Night Raw's version of Aiden English. I'm definitely enjoying it. You know. So then, after that, we got Robotic Charlie, and I call her this. I say it every week. That girl is robotic. She's very, very pretty. She seems like outside of the ring, she may be great, but in terms of how she interacts with the people, how you know, if there's an ebb and flow, which there is no ebb and flow with her. You know, it's like she's just there. You know, and that's all right. You know, but she was backstage with freaking Finn Balor, and I got what can you say about Finn Balor? I love the guy. You know, he says he's ready for the Universal title. You know what I'm saying? And I know this. This is a guy who we all know is being held back because Finn Balor is too damn good. We all know Finn Balor is too damn good, right? Okay? So, just like last time, he said, hey, I want Universal title from Brock Lesnar. What do? They start shoving him into a feud with Bray Wyatt. He tries to get away from the Bray Wyatt. He's like, I want the Universal title. Goldust comes out of nowhere, and they're like, hey, Goldust, why don't you go out there and be upset at Bray Wyatt for, Finn Balor, because he said he was standing up for all the victims, and you know you're a man. So pretty much Goldust attacks him backstage. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he was a victim. You know what I mean? And all of that. So. Man, it's what it really is, whatever. Because Finn Balor is amazing. Yeah, Goldust should have been doing something else. Like Goldust, please, you were supposed to be giving us this like you're gonna be like a mentor or manager or something along those lines, where you like, the stars are out there, and I can't wait to find my next subject. So I was like, okay, so Goldust is going to be looking for somebody to join with him. It actually sounded interesting. Now we're back to this Goldust fighting Finn Balor because he supposedly thought he was a victim and he had to stand up for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is some freaking nonsense, you know. But anyway, we got Kurt Hawkins in the ring with up to 118 losses. You know what I'm saying? So they're counting the losses at the house shows and all of that. I'm like, all right, what's this guy here to do now? You know what I'm saying? So he's like, things is going to change. Things is going to turn around. You know what I'm saying? And I'm ready for challenge. I'm ready. And who's going to come out here? And then it's quiet. Right? And I'm like, all right, so who's it going to be? Braun Strowman's music played. Shit, I damn near fell off the motherfucking exercise ball. Fell back, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Braun Strowman, woo! Braun Strowman starts coming on down this motherfucking ring. Like, I mean, he's coming down here because obviously he's pissed off at Brock Lesnar, so he's like, man, I gotta take it out on somebody. Why not? Motherfucking Kurt Hawkins. Okay? Yeah, let's do that. He comes down there, Kurt Hawkins is like, no. Kurt ran away. I was like, please, Kurt, run. Kurt ran away and into the crowd. Now, this is why Braun Strowman is amazing. I'm serious. The fucking speed on this dude, I was fucking amazed. You know how they always go like, oh my god, the speed of the big guy, No. The camera angle, it showed that Kurt was a good distance away from Braun in the ring, and I damn near blinked, and that fucking 6'8", 385-pound dude came sprinting through the crowd, ran after and caught Kurt, and proceeded to whoop his ass in the middle of the people in the crowd. Yes, that's what he did. And then, because Braun, there was a table over there, concession stand table. Braun didn't move the shit off the table. You know how when they go to do any of the spots on the tables, like for example the announce table, you know they have to move the TV monitors out so you don't throw a dude on a real TV monitor. So you see them over there, they're taking the time to move the stuff out of the way. So there's a concession stand table over there. Braun never took the time to move the stuff out of the way, so you can see he had he busted his arm up, and who knows what the heck happened to Kurt Hawkins, because he put him through a freaking real table with real shit on the table, like drinks, cups, bottles and shit on the table. Like, damn, oh, I know that must hurt. Then threw him on the stage. He's like, I'm not finished with you. Threw him on the stage, then proceeded to take him and run and powerbomb him through the LED board on the stage where they be doing all the lighting and stuff for the entrances and whatnot. Put him through there. Kurt is just laid out, man. Just hurt. Of course he's hurt. Braun wasn't done. Braun goes right on down to the ring. You know, he's like, I want some competition. I want some freaking competition. Then you hear Dean Ambrose's music, and he comes on out. The freaking lunatic fringe, Carl Moxley, comes on down, man. Woo, woo, man, oh man, this is amazing. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, probably the average person, is like Dean Ambrose. But I'm like, this crazy dude, this is the same guy who wanted to fight Brock Lesnar, and we didn't get that match because Brock, he didn't want to do shit, man. Everybody knows that, you know what I'm saying? The dude is limited. You saw the matches, a suplex here, a suplex there, 1 and 5, that's that, get your money, go home. He's to that point where he don't want to do stuff, you know what I mean? So when I saw Dean with Strowman, I'm like, okay, this could be really, really interesting here, all right? And actually, I enjoyed the match. I don't know how other people felt. I personally enjoyed the match. Liked it, you know what I'm saying? There was a couple of times where Dean had me going like, oh shit, look at this. Look at Dean mustering up some offense here, you know what I'm saying? And obviously Dean got put away. but it was a really, really, really good match. I definitely enjoyed it there, and it was a good way to have to repackage Braun after that loss. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking to myself like, oh man, are they gonna do like what they did, last time? Is he gonna be off TV? For a while or whatnot? But I think they did the right move here. Having him come out there and reassert dominance, just go beat people up. Let them know that look, what happened with Brock was a fluke. You know what I'm saying? You just got stunned by an F5. I'll take that. Maybe with the F5, maybe he didn't kick out, he got stunned by it, you know what I'm saying? And then Brock, got lucky. But if that's the case, Brock is only winning because he's getting lucky. That means that if Brock goes to fight Roman Reigns again, which we are all fearful of, he's going to lose. Damn it, look, Brock is barely surviving against Samoa Joe. Barely surviving against Braun Strowman. What makes you think he's going to survive against Roman Reigns? John Cena couldn't even survive against Roman Reigns. Shit! Hey, goodness gracious here. Yeah, I know, right? So we got Kurt Angle backstage with Enzo Amore. This dude right here, who I don't know what they're going on with his character. Even on the 205, I have no idea what's going on with him. Okay, I do have an idea. Excuse me. Let me take that back. Let me backpedal for a minute. What are they doing with the dude? In my opinion, they're letting you see a real piece of who this dude is. We always thought Enzo was a good guy, he's a stand-up dude. When he came up there after the WrestleMania and all that, we were all happy, we were all ecstatic, all of that good stuff, right? Okay, fair enough. Then we start hearing about all this stuff come out backstage. Enzo was this way, Enzo was that way. You know what I'm saying? He's legitimately bringing people, he's legitimately bringing strippers to the backstage locker room. Now think about this for a second, people. I respect, you want to be stripped, you want to strip, that's whatever. You know what I mean? Are you really supposed to be bringing some strippers, women, people that aren't out into the thing, into another person's locker room with the people in there? So the stuff that Enzo's doing, I mean, that's pretty grimy. So I kind of feel like they're allowing him to just be himself. Like when he went out there, and we will talk about that later on, you know what I'm saying? But he's a grimy dude. And that basically allowing us to see that. And what a lot of us fans are like, oh man, we're kind of turning on him, not because the WWE are telling us to turn on him. We're kind of turning on him because we're kind of seeing the individual that this dude is. And like, shit, man, you're really not a nice person, dude. You did that? Wow, you brag about your money and stuff and all that? That's not cool, bro. So, hey. So pretty much he wants to get a party going on, a celebration, and then he puts out like an injunction clause type thing, or if you hit me, you can't get a title on the cruiserweights because everybody's gunning for the dude. Nobody likes Enzo, so he goes to Kurt and he's like, look, check this out, Kurt. I need some protection here, so can you help me out here? And then Kurt, says, cool, you know what I'm saying? If anybody, touches you, they won't get a title shot anymore, So then we got Alexa scene backstage, and I do like some Alexa Bliss, you know what I mean? Who does? But really, who doesn't like Alexa Bliss, especially when she turns up the Harley Quinn? And here's the thing, I wasn't even a Harley Quinn fan. Like, I like my superheroes and all of that stuff, and I don't really like the villains and villainesses, but, she's kind of having me do a second look at it, but she looks good, but I couldn't deal with that psychoticness, that craziness, you know what I'm saying? But then, we got Dean and Seth Rollins backstage, and Dean is icing up his shoulder. You know, he's all sore. And Seth was like, man, bro, you should have told me this. Because I was thinking to myself, why the hell would Seth Rollins let Dean Ambrose come out here and just run amok like this? Wouldn't he try to stop him? But they explained that, they retconned it, and they was like, okay, check this out. Seth was like, look, man, why didn't you tell me this? And I would have stopped you. He's like, that's why I didn't, because you're so freaking predictable. And then Dean goes on to say what Seth was going to say and everything, and he was like, see, I told you so. Seth Rollins goes and says, you know what? I'm going to be spontaneous. You know, Mr. May 28, just like me, Mr. May 28 said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to fight Braun Strowman next week. And I'm like, holy shit, you lost your mind, Seth Rollins? And he's like, he's going to do it. So I'm like, all right, next week, Monday Night Raw, it's going to be Braun Strowman versus Seth Rollins. Okay, I can deal with that, you know. All right, so we got an Alexa promo. And, you know, she's claiming she's the best. She out in the ring talking about she destroyed everybody, you know. She beat up the whole locker room, you know, that there was no one left. Like, what are you going to do? Like, Alicia Fox, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, okay. And then she pretty much runs down the people because she was like, you know what happened? You know, I don't like you people, because I woke up the next day, you know, and I checked my messages and nobody congratulated me. No messages in my DM talking about how my title match was wonderful and stuff. So she pretty much ran down the people because nobody wanted to celebrate for her ass, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't celebrating for her because I wanted Nia Jax to win, but that's a story for a whole nother day, you know? So Mickie James comes on out there, and she's upset after you know what she said on Talking Raw, where she called her like an old lady, you know, like she was washed up, and if it wasn't for her, you know, she wouldn't be there. Pretty much running her down, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta say this, Mickie James is looking real delicious out there, you know what I'm saying? Just like she's always looked good. I mean, kaplat out, you know, like kaplat out everywhere in all the proper spots, you know. So kudos to Mickie James, and plus the girl can go in the ring, so can't nobody say Mickie James ain't got it. And she cut a really good promo, you know what I'm saying? She was talking about the girl, and she was like, she was kicking ass and doing this and doing that. And then the funny thing, she said she was kicking ass back when you were in a training bra. And then she looked down at her and was like, looks like you still wearing the training bra. I was like, damn, that's cold. Because, you know, Alexa got them A's or B's. I can't really tell, you know what I'm saying? Because they go pushed in with that sports bra. Maybe some B's, you know what I'm saying? But the point is, she put Alexa down. But I look, we all know about Mickie James' Tata, so, you know, and that stung extra. And you can see Alexa's like, why the low blow like that, you know? So I would like to see that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to turn out to be Mickie James versus Alexa. And that's going to be like the last stop before we get on the Oscar train. Yeah, bring Oscar in there at TLC and just let her run through these girls. You know what I'm saying? Just let her just chop. Let her chop them on down. Woo. All right, now we got Seth Rollins versus Sheamus with busted up Cesaro. I mean, good Lord. You all know what happened to Cesaro. His teeth, look at the little pearly whites, just said, pushed all up in his face. Terribleness. And Cesaro out there, I watched the WWE thing where they showed him getting the stitches and all of that, getting his face worked on and whatnot. He stitches up here, stitches down there, you know, so like the teeth bit into the lip and pushed up. So he essentially not only just knocked his teeth up, but his lip too. So he bit through the whole lip. That's Cesaro. Once again, we all need to do this. Let's give a round of applause for Antonio Cesaro, aka Claudio Castigliano. And Cesaro was out there fighting through the pain, and I mean, you can really look at him and tell. But think about it, his face is all jacked up. This is the one thing everybody across the globe knows. Tooth pain ain't nothing to fuck with. Like Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, tooth pain ain't nothing to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. And he is out there, and you can just see the look on his face. He didn't even open his mouth not one time. Like, no, I didn't mean talk, meaning like literally didn't open his mouth not one time. He was just like, and you can see how he was moving. Like, okay, I wonder if he was pain pilled up or morphined up, because that dude was walking really slow, you know. So obviously we know they had to give him something for the pain, but I can definitely tell it was you know, it was on him, you know what I'm saying? But that was a really good match. You know, I enjoyed the match. I mean, what more can I say? Seth Rollins is amazing. I like Sheamus too. I know we can always go on about Seth Rollins. Everybody knows how good Seth Rollins is, right? We really do. I look on the internet, the general consensus is a lot of people like Seth Rollins. You know what I'm saying? The King Slayer. But for a second here, that Sheamus is fucking amazing too. I can't get over that look. Like this fucking pasty ass redheaded, like you have to use him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's so damn physical. What the fuck? Sheamus is so, what is it, like Irish strong style or something? Like that British strong style? Like, dude is just clobbering motherfucker. Like, yeah, like what I said, like clobbering, like just clunking dudes. And I really like that Smash Mouth style in your face, just like cha 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 cha, like that Pete Dunne, like bruiserweight, just like cha cha. I really enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? So personally, I thought it was a good match. You know, of course, Seth had to do what he had to do with the V trigger. What do you even call it? We can't call that Kenny Omega's V trigger. Look what I just called it, the V trigger. What the world is his move called that seems to be a copy of the V trigger? Needed face? All right, well, needed face. There you go, right there. You know. So we got Finn backstage with Goldust, what I was talking about earlier and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I kind of jumped the gun there. But that interaction, you know, because I was just so pissed off earlier with how they're using him, but now I can really go into it now here. Please, every time Finn Balor seems like he's going to gain some kind of momentum that's going to thrust him out of, say, the mid-card and into the upper echelon, AJ Styles, you know what I'm saying, they go and they shove him back down in there for somebody else. I want to see Finn Balor go to the next level. I want to see Finn Balor with a belt. Fine, let's just say hypothetically he doesn't get the Universal title because that's on Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know, fine, he doesn't get that. Why he can't get the you know, the Universal title? You know what I mean? You know, like I don't understand that. Why he can't get the Universal? So he can't get that Universal title. Okay, understandable. Can we not give him the Intercontinental title after? I don't know what they're doing with the Miz in this record thing. It's clearly they're trying to have him break the last two records. You know what I'm saying? But I'd like to see Finn Balor with a title. The guy looks good. Like, the guy has got the presence, the it factor. I mean, you know, what is Finn Balor about? 5'11", 6 foot, 190. You know what I mean? So he's a smaller dude. Okay, I understand that. You know, smaller than Daniel Bryan. At least Daniel Bryan is about what, 6'1", about 220, 225. You know, so I understand Finn Balor's smaller. But damn, that look and that presence, that cool guyness. Like, Finn needs some kind of fucking championship here. Like, even if you don't give him tag team titles with somebody, or give him the Balor Club, Bullet Club, he has so much charisma and potential. I'm like, WWE is sitting on a gold mine and he's just not even doing anything. You're wasting him away in the feud with Goldust, and I like Goldust, and you're wasting him away. Just like I said earlier, I like Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, but you're gonna waste the Shield away with giving them to them. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with this. Oh, please utilize Finn Balor better. And I damn sure know people listening to this and all the girls listening want Finn Balor used more. Who don't want to see more Finn Balor? Come on, right? We want more Fergal Devitt. That's all I'm saying, you know? All right. So then we got John Cena and Roman Reigns freaking recap, you know? Right after that throwaway Goldust versus, you know what I'm saying, freaking match, you know what I'm saying? But another recap, and this is what I'm talking about. You go from the match on into a long recap. Like, we don't need this. We know what's going on here. Like, instead of the recap, think about how much more talent we can put on the show. Because you got 3 hours of Raw, and how much of that time is actually utilized for putting over talent that isn't like just the top people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really wish they would manage their time better. And I'll give you this. And I'm not going to say go back to the Attitude Era or nothing like that, because the Attitude Era, to me, as a wrestling fan who's been watching through there, you know what I'm saying, and I've got my tapes from when I recorded the Attitude Era, WCW, and I had the two TVs and we'll record them both at the freaking same time, man. Back before the DVR, I had the VCRs, man. Oh, I'm telling you, Attitude Era, what made it good to me, it wasn't the rated narness or Vince McMahon doing all the racist shit or any of that. No, what made it good, in my opinion, was that they utilized everybody. Yes, That's the one thing I will give the Attitude credit for. Forget the blood and the debauchery and all of that crap. No, if the one takeaway you don't get understanding this, please, just let it be that the Attitude Era used damn near everybody. How many belts was floating around? You know what I'm saying? Like the WWE title, and then of course you had the other the when they merged, then you had the Intercontinental title, and then you had the European title, you know, then you had the Hardcore title, you know, then you had the tag team titles. So they even had, like, just for the underlings, you know, the Hardcore belt was amazing. Okay, nowadays they can't do that, but the fact is that they made an even lower belt than the European title. You know what I'm saying? Just so, like, you can have people like Steve Blackman out there, and Crash Hawley, and Hardcore Hawley, and Godfather's Ho, you know what I'm saying, to win that belt. You know? So I gotta give the Attitude Era credit, because they utilized, I mean, the freaking Val Venus, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about the silliness. Like, Steve Blackman, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Death, Steve Williams, you know, they had so many different people that they had brought in, that they incorporated in with other storylines. So it wasn't like, oh, the Attitude Era was only Steve Austin, The Rock, and Stone Cold. I'm like, nope, there was a whole bunch of other smaller little characters that I like just as much, that came along and kicked just as much butt, and I'm like, I enjoyed them. So WWE, I just ask that you just please, you have all of these characters, you have all this talent, and you know you're buying up the talent left and right, man. You're pulling a New York Yankees here, or freaking Real Madrid, and you're just throwing money at everybody, and you're buying them up, and then you're like, okay, we got all the talent, and then you got creative events. It's like, I'm not really sure how to utilize these people, or maybe these people don't fit with the mold, or yeah, we can't do anything with these people now, and they're just sitting there on the back burner. Just what are we doing with them? You know what I'm saying? It's a shame here. It's freaking sad, and that's what happened with that recap. More time was wasted, like I was saying, that could have been utilized for putting over talent, or putting people on TV that you don't even see. You know? Stop, cat. Goodness gracious. Then we got Roman Reigns versus The Miz at the top of the second hour, which I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, oh man, the show seems like it's moving by so fast here. I'm thinking it's the main event, and these dudes is pulling like old school Madison Square Garden tactic here, like you know, like if you watch the house shows and stuff, like we're gonna put on like the main event before, you know, like in the middle of the card and whatnot, and that's what this was pretty much. Roman Reigns versus The Miz, I thought it was genuinely going to be the main event for tonight. No, it just was the top of the second hour. I'm like, oh, excuse me, the top of the third hour. Wait, was it the top of the third hour? Yeah, because after this was coming into the third hour, and I was saying to myself, well, what the hell else are they gonna do after this? So, excuse me, the top of the third hour. Yeah. Because I thought it was just an hour left after this. And Roman Reigns won, of course, you know, and Miz tried to do his best of hide and seek fighting, so to speak, and we all know what that is, you know what I'm saying? You know, you get out, then the guy comes after you, then you run off, and then you try to play onto the ropes, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, Miz got his ass whooped by Roman Reigns, and then the three of them ultimately got their asses whooped by freaking Roman Reigns, you know what I'm saying? But then after that was where the magic happened. Yeah, because I was like, all right, man, what are they doing with this? Like you hearing me? I'm like, oh yeah, you know, that was a throwaway. Of course, the Miz was gonna win, yada yada yada. Until afterwards, and then even Roman Reigns started doing a beatdown. I was like, seriously, is he gonna really beat down all of these dudes? No. They beat that dude down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they gave him like a shield ass whooping, complete with chairs and all. I mean, they whooped it. I think I counted 10 chair shorts. They hit him that many times. I mean, they went to town on Roman Reigns. And I, just like everybody else around the globe that aren't kayfabe in India, and aren't, I'm not going to say all of the women, but that aren't some women, you know, we enjoyed seeing Roman Reigns get his ass whooped. I was like, yes, beat some creativity into Roman Reigns. I was like, beat the blandness off of him. Like, yeah. I was very, very happy. I was like, thank you very much. And then they put the fist out. And then they celebrated over like they were the Shield and whatnot. I'm like, okay, well, I guess they got to do something to establish some credibility, because I'm like, well, why the hell else are we going to take the Miz to RAW seriously? So WWE had to book them to do something, right? Okay, and this is that something. Yeah, you know. And Finn Balor, I still love him. Exactly. Moving on past that Finn Balor and Gold Dustness, you know what I'm saying? Finn freaking wins again. Finn. And we got Sasha Banks backstage with Bayley, and I'm just like, look, yo, just let the girl go heel already, right? Just let her go bad, you know. Look at Sasha; she's not cut out to be like a nice person. It's like the boss and all of that, you know. Let the girl be bad, you know. I just wanted her to just slap Bayley, you know. And I like Bayley, but this was only for the story, you know. Like obviously, I was like, slap Bayley to further to push the story, yeah. But she didn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, she didn't. Although I am looking forward to that slap when she does do it, when she goes heel. Ooh, I can't wait, seriously. But you know, so they got the match and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And then she was kind of like, you know, just let it go, I'll be all right. And that's that, you know what I'm saying? We got Nia with Emma versus Sasha and Bayley. And every time I see Nia Jax, I'm gonna sing her praises. Look, I'll be on the top of the roof. I'll be shouting from the rooftops, just like, Nia Jax, Nia Jax, Nia Jax. Well, that's just me, like I said, and I know I'm the only person that feels like that out there. I look around on the internet. I mean, people can be really, really cruel, and this is why she needs me to just hold her, take away the pain. But Nia and Emma, and I really like freaking Emma, and it just seems like every time we see her, they change her theme music, which is why that they didn't play the music this time, because they realized we're gonna be like, look, they changed her music again for like the 5th time, you know. So they already in the ring, you know. Sasha and Bayley, they do anything, and it was actually you know, it was as good as it could possibly be. You know, they got Nia away so that they could get the pin on Bayley. Excuse me, not Bayley, on Emma. So I mean, it did what it had to do there. And then I'm thinking to myself, I was like, okay, so what do we have left? Oh, the Enzo celebration. I thought to myself, the Enzo celebration? The 205 is gonna close down Raw? That's what we're gonna do here? I'm like, okay, so Enzo's you know, he's out here to do his thing for the celebration and the party and all of that stuff. He starts running his mouth, and like I was saying earlier, this is what I really want to get into. Enzo just starts I mean, this guy is good on the mic. I will definitely give you that. That man is fantastic microphone worker, and he starts going at it, man. Just spitting venom at everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, my cruiserweight checks this, and I'm this, and you know what I'm saying? My royalties is good and whatnot. You know. Then all of the people came out. You know what I'm saying? They were standing up there. Then he starts running down everybody, which I don't even know why, but I noticed he only ran down the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? He ran down Cedric Alexander, he ran down Rich Swann, he ran down Grand Metalik. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he ran down what's his name too? He called him Teacup. He ran down Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Yep. So other than that, man, it was actually pretty interesting, because I'm like, okay, so what are we gonna do here? And so he still run his mouth. Then Neville comes on out, you know. Oh man, Neville. Ooh, he was good. He gave me chills here because he was really good. And I was like, is Neville cutting a good guy promo here? You know what I'm saying? It looked like we had like a double turn here, you know. So Neville forgoes his cruiserweightness and just proceeds to beat the holy hell out of freaking Enzo Amore. He beat him down really badly, and that was after Enzo was like, look man, my royalties for all you people, you know, he was like, if you took all the money that I make from my merchandise, right, it would pale in comparison. No, he was like, all your money would pale in comparison to what I make, and that's if you took it all, because I believe that's what he said. He was like, if you took all of yours, it wouldn't even equal like one of my royalty checks, something like that. So he's letting you know why he's not going to go anywhere, because he sells merchandise and stuff. You know what I mean? And I mean, that was just sheesh. He let him know. He put him on blast. He was like, look at you guys. You've never even sniffed the third hour. If it wasn't for me, nobody would be trying to watch here. I mean, he was pretty much going off on these guys after Enzo was just like, after Neville said what he said about them dropping him on his doorstep and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Then Neville threw that man into the to the Certified G glass shirt, you know, and then proceeded to whoop his ass badly. But that ain't the kick. That's how the show went off, right? Neville standing over him after he beat him up. Oh no, there was plenty more after that. After the Raw goes off, right? After this, after what we all saw, right? You know what I'm saying? Enzo in the ring, right? Just all beat up, right? Braun Strowman decides he's gonna come out. That's right. Braun Strowman comes out after the show is off. You know, after the show literally goes off the air. You know, Braun Strowman comes out there, beats him up, right? Continues to beat him up, beats him up badly. Then proceeds to the cruiserweights to just go, y'all want to have at him? And the cruiserweights was like, yeah, we want to have at him. Every cruiserweight proceeded to beat up on Enzo. That's right. I think it was like 12 of them proceeded to beat up on Enzo. They all hit their finishes on him. We're talking about a good solid 5 minutes worth of Enzo getting beat up, tossed around. I mean, literally ping pong. That's what it looked like. He would here get a super kick. Over here, get a 450 splash. You know what I'm saying? Just getting all kinds of freaking finishes from everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's how the show really went off. With Enzo getting beat up by the whole cruiserweight division. He got beat up by Neville, then Braun Strowman, and then the rest of the cruiserweight division. They destroyed him. Sheesh, man. Wow. That was one of the worst beatdowns I've seen in a while, because when was the last time in WWE you've seen a wrestler get beat up by the locker room? Now think about that one. By good people and bad people. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no bad guys out there like, well, don't beat up on him. Nobody was taking his side. Everyone was beating him up. Like I said, there was about a good solid 12 people, I believe, in the cruiserweight division. I think so. But anyway, the whole cruiserweight division and Braun Strowman just manhandled him, or monster handled, as Corey Graves would say, you know. And it was amazing, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Now, overall for Monday Night Raw, what would I give it? I would still give it a 6.5. I mean, because those moments right there that are like, oh my God, this or that, they don't make up for the fact that you lose 20 minutes plus of show to promo and recap. You know what I'm saying? So that's got to change too. And it also doesn't make up for the fact that, you know, sometimes we get the same formulaicness, right? Now, obviously things are going to have to change because of Cesaro and his face, you know, but how many times were we actually going to see Seth Rollins and Cesaro fight? You know, excuse me, or you know what I'm trying to say, the Bar, I think that's what they call the Bar, fight the Shield again, you know, like we need some spice thrown in there, you know, something different. And obviously Jason Jordan, what's going to happen with him? You know what I mean? Seriously, that guy, and I like the guy, believe me, I want to like the guy. I want to see another brother out there. They're giving you a chance, dude. They're giving a black guy a chance. Believe me, I want to see Jason Jordan succeed, but that guy on the microphone is staler than fucking 2-week-old bread that's been left out on the counter open. This is terrible, you know? And I want to believe in him. Like, I'm like, really, if Jason Jordan had the charisma of the freaking New Day, he'd be the champion already. He has the freaking look. He makes me want to, like, look, dude, you need to get back into wrestling so they can use you, and you can be the damn champion. I'm like, damn, Jason Jordan, you got all the skills in the world, but on the microphone, it's just so, holy shit. As Steve Austin would say, he's so damn white meat babyface. Damn bastard. Yeah, he's so white meat babyface. Holy shit. But other than that, Monday Night Raw, look, as I have said, and I said in my last video when I went on this long monologue diatribe about the corporateness of it, Monday Night Raw can only be but so good because it has to answer the corporate shareholders. It has to answer to a plethora of different people out there who, at the end of the day, the bottom line seems like it's more important than if I like such and such or if the other person likes such and such. But here's the kicker. Now, those same corporate people in that bottom line, I mean, I'm seeing so many people sending me pictures and stuff and all of that, and you go and look online and you can see attendance records and stuff into the SmackDown and all of that, and I think to myself, and I'm like, why why aren't the tickets selling and whatnot, you know? I mean, because WWE would have you lead to believe, would lead you to believe that it's the best thing since sliced bread and all of that stuff. But then I see, you know, the ratings and whatnot. So clearly what they're doing is not working. And as I've said, and I will say it again, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And WWE has been doing the same formulaic craziness, which is why And I saw a lot of people were predicting that pay-per-view because all we had to do was use the same WWE formula. If Braun Strowman keeps beating Brock Lesnar weeks and weeks up until the pay-per-view, then Braun Strowman will lose at pay-per-view like everybody else in WWE formula. So it's so predictable now, and if it's that predictable that you can plug in a formula and predict the whole pay-per-view, why are people needing to tune in WWE if they can kind of guess what's going to happen because you've made it so easy to? I tell you, this part of the problem is this is why everybody needs competition or a rival, because it keeps you on your toes. And WWE's rival is themselves. They don't have any competition, and what's happening to them is a lot of complacency. There are a lot of what the WWE feels like is, well, you're getting some kind of wrestling, deal with it, and they don't seem to understand that this isn't back in the day, Vince McMahon, where it was very difficult for people to watch New Japan, Ring of Honor, CZW, or CMLL, AAA wrestling. It was very, very difficult to watch all of that stuff back in the day. But nowadays it's rather easy to stream so much different wrestling content from all over, and that's why a lot of the fans aren't there, because they're looking elsewhere. There's so much good wrestling out there. There's so much talent in New Japan. You know what I mean? There's so much talent in Ring of Honor. There's a lot of places out there that are doing stuff different, like in Lucha Underground. That are giving fans an alternative to the WWE product that we can look at and tell they're not putting that much thought into, unless your name is John Cena or Roman Reigns. But it shouldn't be that obvious. Even if you don't like Roman Reigns, even if you don't like John Cena, it shouldn't be so obvious that they will win all the time, because they will win all the time. Not because they're an AJ Styles or a Shinsuke Nakamura, because they're just so hyper talented and so incredible that like even Brock Lesnar, for example. I could understand if Brock Lesnar won all the time, because at least legitimately he could smash somebody's face in and actually win all the time. So Brock Lesnar could be like the one WWE conundrum. I'd be like, okay, you could book Brock to win all the time, and I would believe that. I'm like, okay, former UFC champion, legitimately beating up everybody, believable. But they'll have people like Roman Reigns, and they'll have like a spear is so devastating. Why is it so devastating? It's because you booked it to be so devastating. But why did you book it to be so devastating? What made you decide to do that? And did you think about how the fans would feel from that, seeing that over and over and over and over and over and over? No, they don't. And that's okay. That's understandable that they don't. But they need to start doing that, just like back in the day when they started the Attitude Era, when Vince McMahon went on there and gave that speech about how he wants to usher in Attitude Eras, because WCW was doing so good down there. I was watching that WCW back in the day. And they were doing so great. They were utilizing, I'll give you this, WCW, man, they utilized a lot of their characters too. Now, they were not perfect, believe me. There's plenty of terrible stories out there. But at one point in time, they were utilizing a lot of their talent. WCW Nitro was pretty damn good at one point. I even believe there was a certain point in time where for a while, it was #1 in the ratings and whatnot. I mean, after all, when they had that Goldberg going there with that streak, a lot of people were tuning in to see what was going on with Goldberg, with that 160 plus 151 to 60 plus winning streak. You know what I'm saying? So what I'd like to see from WWE is them just actually starting to care, like not resting on their laurels, so to speak. Not being like, well, you know what I'm saying, we're here, they'll just tune in because we tell them to, and they'll just eat this up because we tell them to, because they're in the palm of our hand. And I can see that kind of arrogance coming from Vince McMahon. Now, after all, when you have $1 billion and when stuff has been working for you for so long, you tend to kind of act a certain way. It brings a certain air around you. You know what I'm saying? So he probably feels like he knows best. But as far as the ratings are showing, or whoever's writing, because maybe it's not Vince, it's all speculation, conjecture, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it's not Vince writing, or whoever, they are not feeling the pressure because they don't have to feel the pressure. The ratings go down, and clearly people don't care, or else they would be doing so many different alternative things to bring them back up. Like, for example, I have seen time and time again that people are really, really upset with Roman Reigns. He's polarizing, he's this, he's that. I'm not saying don't utilize the guy on TV, no differently than I wouldn't say get rid of Enzo. Use him, he's a cash cow. You know what I'm saying? So I would never say get rid of Roman Reigns. But I don't see them listening to the fans or doing anything that would suggest like, okay, so they seem to be bothered by him. Let's change this up and see if the ratings or anything like that. So I can't just blame it all on Roman Reigns, of course not. But honestly, I do blame a lot of it on there not being an actual champion on TV. I like Brock Lesnar, and I know of a lot of people who like Brock Lesnar, and they're kind of starting to change their tune on him, WWE, because you've given us a champion who doesn't really do anything. Yes, he's a special attraction. He's a nice attraction. He comes along once a year. You know, you're kind of making the Brock out to like on the Undertaker, so he wrestles what was twice a year, with the first time Goldberg, and then Samoa Joe, and now Braun Strowman, so 3 times out of the year. You know, so I can understand how that may bother people. Even if Brock was listening to this and he was like, "Fuck you, fuck this," I understand, Brock. You worked up to that point, but I'm telling you what people would think. You know, they're like, "Wait, we want to tune in to see a champion. Oh wait, we're not going to see a champion." How do we not think that's going to affect stuff? UFC, for example. What if you tuned into the UFC, excuse me, you tuned in, and you didn't see any of your champions? They just told you, "Oh well, you know, he's not around." You know what I'm saying? Or they wouldn't defend the belts or anything like that. You know, it's a different story. And I just wish that they would take the time to understand that people want to see the champion. It doesn't have to just be a Brock Lesnar. They want to see the belt. They want to know that there's fighting towards the belt, and nobody is going to be fighting towards the belt anymore. You know, I guess because it's Roman Reigns now, because he's going to use the fact that he beat up John Cena one time to signify that, you know, that he's the man now. He's like, "Look, I beat John Cena once. That has to mean something." But they have people who've beaten John Cena multiple times. You know, it has happened. You know, so I just, WWE, I really wish you would take the time to listen to your hardcore fans, the people who have stuck with it through thick and thin. You know, the people who they can give you creative ideas, and you know, and you can bounce those off and be like, "You know what? I'm not going to be a prideful, egotistical maniac, Vince McMahon. I'm going to actually listen to some of these." You know, because some people have good ideas. Nobody is perfect, and nobody knows everything, and we can all learn from each other. That's what makes bouncing ideas and talking about this stuff so awesome and interesting, hearing other people's perspective and stuff. You know, like if we was just have like a round table of WWE fans, and we could just chit chat and talk about this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's freaking amazing to me personally. I believe that that's where it's at, and that's what the WWE needs to do. And I've seen the surveys and stuff coming out, and them asking the questions and stuff. Personally, no, we do not need a TV 14 type television show here where you won't be able to do anything because you can't do the chair shots in the head. You know what I'm saying? You can't do but so much of extremeness, and you know, you won't be able to do the sex on the TV because you'll have too many feminist groups and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because they already sexified the men. I mean, they're out there with damn underwear on, so what's next to sexify the women? And we know that's going to be a complaint from there. So what could you do in a TV 14 show? Like seriously, WWE, for example, you're like this TV 14. What entails a TV 14 show, right? Because you can put those things in it that I just previously mentioned, you know. So what else would you just them cursing all the time? That's it. So the promos would just be shit, fuck, shit, fuck, shit, fuck. You know, all the stuff that you're saying on TV, be like, "Yo, bitch." Oh, he said bitch. Whoa. Please, we don't need a TV 14 show just so Roman Reigns can cut a decent promo. No, come on. Don't do that to us, WWE. You know, there's plenty of ideas that you can do that would definitely help you in that WWE network. I would love to actually see more shows about what the wrestlers do outside in their time, kind of like breaking ground. I would love to see that. You know, the wrestlers training. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, just their everyday life. There's a lot of people that want to see what these guys do in their everyday life. It's why Up, Up, Down, Down is so popular. You know, oh snap, wrestlers play video games like we do at home. Yeah, a lot of these dudes is realistic people, you know, and I believe a lot of fans would actually like to see that. And why not bring back like another Legends House or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be like former wrestlers, or hell, even wrestlers like, you know, living together or something like that. That'd be really freaking interesting, like a real world with like with wrestlers. Or you can do your own like Tough Enough real world. That would be freaking interesting. Ooh, yeah, like a Tough Enough real world. That'd be pretty cool. I could definitely live with that. But WWE, like seriously, you know, same thing I'll talk about with SmackDown. You know, you're just resting on your laurels. You can make the show better. It's not a difficult thing to do. Stop worrying about Monday Night Football. I see you doing this. Please look. Nobody's worried about Monday Night Football. I'm telling you, I'm taking a knee. Everybody's taking a knee. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, nobody's worried about that, WWE. This is your time to capitalize and make your show better. You don't need like, look, you don't got to worry about that. Okay, worry about your show. You know what I'm saying? Please worry about the fans, that are going to come there and support you. Those hardcore fans are the ones that were going to buy those tickets, but you're turning your back on them. And now we got SmackDowns that are getting to 30 to 40% capacity here, and then they're showing them having to move around the crowds, and they're having to tarp up this and tarp up that. I mean, that's bad, WWE. And I mean, clearly it's got to be bad for your shareholders. So I mean, something has got to give. Either you're going to have to change up the formula, or keep losing your bottom line. So we ain't got pyro. They're taking away all of the stuff here. They're cutting the shows and whatnot. Terrible. You cut Talking Smack. It was such a good place for the talent to come on there, and then just give them an opportunity to be themselves. You know what I mean? And to speak and work on their character into different ways. Like Baron Corbin was one of the huge examples. I mean, of course, we can go into The Miz and Daniel Bryan, but Baron Corbin, I mean, week by week, I saw him get better and better and better. And even Jinder Mahal coming on there, you know what I mean? I liked his interaction with Renee Young, and especially the chemistry that Daniel Bryan and Renee had. It was an amazing show, and they took that away, So, I mean, WWE, how much do you really care about your wrestling fans, other than like marketing for cancer and stuff like that? I get it, and it's going to be very hard to say something about that, because then people can throw stuff in your face. How dare you? But there's a point when we know propaganda, and we know when it's like we're trying to work on our image and stuff. Like, people aren't stupid nowadays. Like, you can try to sponsor this, but so much before we're like, when we can see where your priorities lie now. Okay, I got you. Versus where they were over here. That makes sense. Okay, I got you. You know what I'm saying? But I have faith in the company. That's why I watch all the time. I love the talent. This is not a rip on the talent. The talent is doing wonderful. I just feel like we have so much talent that we're not being able to get to know all of the talent, and perhaps that's why they get crafted into such terrible stories that don't fit their character, because the creative team, or maybe the talent, doesn't get to know the creative team, and vice versa. So they don't go, I've got this story, but he would be good for it. Instead, they go and put this story in a random person, and that person just doesn't fit with it. So also that right there, and that's why I'm like, it could be the talent's fault, it could be creative's fault. I don't know, I'm not there. Like I said, speculation. But I can definitely see that there are opportunities and times where I see people being put into situations where it's like, yeah, that just doesn't fit that person. Like, oh man, that doesn't fit here. Do they even know what they're doing? So take the time to get to know the talent. You have so much people there, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these problems will be alleviated, like maybe you're gonna have like a talent relations guy, not like John Laurinaitis, but I mean a person whose job is to just get to know the ins and outs of the talent, you know what I'm saying? And then he can relay all of this stuff back to the creative, and then they can work stuff in based around quirks and this and that, like he comes to you with a whole book of notes and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, so we can use this, and we can use that, and this person's talented here, this person's creative with that, and then, we can make scripts that, for people that seem to flow so well, you know what I mean? Because the best characters are usually the ones where the people aren't that far from their real life persona, So yeah, that's pretty much it there, man. Oh man, I done rambled along here, and I enjoy that, man. Like I said, I've always enjoyed talking about Monday Night Raw. This has started from way back in middle school, when we would come in after the Monday, and we'd be like, oh my God, did you see that? Did you see? Especially after like a freaking pay-per-view, like, oh my goodness gracious, did you see it? And then we were in there arguing like, oh, this wrestler versus this wrestler versus this wrestler versus this wrestler. You know what I'm saying? I just thoroughly enjoy this so much. Like, wrestling, it still gives me a smile. Like, even when it's shitty like this, you'll get people out there, they're screaming at it, and they're going crazy. I'm like, nah, it doesn't drive me insane like that. I just look at it in terms of like, well, how can we better it? Like, what can we do for it? Like, sure, this is terrible, sure, this is a problem, but what would you do to change it? You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants the fantasy book. Like, okay, Akeem, if you were given the keys to the kingdom, you know what I'm saying? Like how would you book the show? What would you do with people? What would you do? So that first thing I would do, I wouldn't get rid of Roman Reigns or anything like that. I would just refresh his character. You know what I'm saying? I would I would change up that attire on him, definitely. Now I'll come up with an idea probably by next week, but I would definitely change up his attire, and not even so much to let him go be heel or nothing like that. Just let him go be a smug asshole. You know, he doesn't have to play up to the fans. So go be a smug asshole that can actually lose. If Roman started actually realistically losing and not being, say, booked in the Super Cena way, and given a chance to organically grow, a lot of people would actually like the guy. They'd give him a chance, you know what I'm saying? And I figure that the WWE maybe realizes that, and that's probably why they're going to try to get the Shield back so fast for TLC, because this kind of does seem like it was shoehorned rather quickly, you know, like, oh snap, TLC, what are we going to do here? Shield reunion. WWE, even you know, this is an irrefutable axiom right here. You know the Shield is like gold, okay? You could have used the Shield reunion for Royal Rumble, you know, Survivor Series, you know, any of your other major pay-per-views to where you knew you were going to draw a large amount. You're like, why not on TLC? Why not on a TLC in a 12-minute match with Miz and his Miztourage? Yeah, and it's only going to be about a 12.5-minute match, and guess who's going to win? The Shield. So in about a 12.5-minute to a 13-minute match, because we see the formula for their pay-per-views. So 3-hour show for right? And now we already know from doing the timing of the various shows, like I said, half that show is going to be just actual the wrestling itself, all right? And if you break that down between the 10 to 12, you know, excuse me, about say 10 matches or so on there, it's only going to be about 12 minutes, you know, about 12 to 13 minutes. So you're going to get a 12 to 13 minute Shield versus Miz and the Miztourage. Now, how much of a fight do you see them putting up? Because remember, we've seen the fights that the Shield would do. I mean, these dudes they were really, really bringing the pain. They were bringing the heat. Not like the Miz and Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Now, if Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel can bring the heat, I haven't seen them bring the heat. So who knows? It's not like the WWE has been booking them to bring said heat. So up until then, why should we care? You know? And this is what they're doing. They're going to give us a Shield reunion for this. Like, holy crap. Holy crap, we're about to get the Shield reunion on the Miztourage. The Shield hasn't been together in about 3 years. Are coming back for the Miztourage. Not Evolution, not the freaking Super Wyatts or something. Like, let's say hypothetically the Wyatts get back and it's like Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, and Bray Wyatt. Come on! Whoa, Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, and Bray Wyatt? Holy shit. It's nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But holy crap, that's what we're getting our Shield reunion wasted on. That's fine. And then afterwards, what are they gonna do? They just disband afterwards? You know, or is the Shield permanently back together? Did they just come back just to beat up the Miztourage? They're like, we're back for this one night. We beat the Miztourage up. Now Roman can go back to doing what he's doing. And then, like Roman said, I'm doing my thing, they're doing their thing. That's some scripted shit that they tell y'all to, so that they don't have to put you together. Y'all could be a damn team and still do your thing, a la Fortune from TNA, or the Four Horsemen, for crying out loud. Y'all could be a damn team and still go do your own thing. So don't give me this whole crap, well, I'm trying to get the Universal title and there, so we can't be a team. Like this, that's a lie. Because we've seen plenty of teams, DX, Nation of Freaking Domination, stay together as a group, but go and get more than just the tag team titles and be like, well, we can just get other belts in and bring them in. So let's not talk that nonsense, Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? That's some scriptedness. So WWE, you know, you want to bring some ratings in, put the Shield back together and keep them together. Give people a reason to tune in, not that one-off like, oh my God, John Cena's going to be here for this 1 week only, and then the ratings kind of flux up for that, and then they go back down. Give us some consistent, like a constant reason to tune in. Like, oh man, I have to tune back in to see what's going on. Like Vince McMahon, I'd say it, but you moved the needle, Vinnie Mac. You moved the needle, Big Daddy. Put your old ass back on that show. You like your show so much. If I was the shareholders, I'd be like, man, if you don't tell that old ass motherfucker to get his ass back on that damn show and shuck and jive like he tell everybody else to and make that damn money, we'd have to headbutt him 20 more times then. Fine, that's alright. But the ratings are going up. Go on and get back out there, Vince. Please. I want to see more of that, you know? This is your company, right? Bleed for that company, baby. You know? But once again, man, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I could keep going and going on and on and on and on and on and on. I love this. I love wrestling. I love talking about it. I love doing it. I love participating in it. Man, I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna commentate. I can't wait. Ring announce, commentate. Like I don't need Charlie. You know, just use me. I got the questions. I mean, like, I will strive to be the best. Like, Mean Gene is my idol. I will strive to ask the best questions out there, man. Just bringing the energy and the enthusiasm to just like the job, knowing that, like, wrestling, yeah, you just feel good about it, you know. But once again, man, I've definitely enjoyed doing this. Brother Akihiro has enjoyed doing this. I love it, man. So to everybody out there, once again, I thank you all for tuning in. You know, subscribe, share, you know, all the stuff that they tell you to do out there on YouTube. You know, hit the thumbs up on that. But I definitely appreciate it. And I will be back for a SmackDown talk, NXT talk, and all of that other good stuff. So I'll definitely talk to you all later.